وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. We'll start when everybody gets in here. Hold on. I can't make this any closer. Man, what's the deal? I just sent out the email to the prospects of the Stronghold of Sultans. So we'll get started pretty soon. So for the people that are here, just from my YouTube channel, I'm not going to be doing anything like what I used to do, like a live stream this morning. This is going to be strictly for men and women that want to know about the Stronghold of Sultans, or for men who want to enter the Stronghold of Sultans. So we'll get started pretty soon and do a roll call of the prospects of the Stronghold of Sultans that are interested in joining. So we'll start in about 5 minutes. Let that email just get out there to the people so they can click on the links and come through. Inshallah ta'ala, we'll get started pretty soon. So anybody that has any questions, both men and women, about the Stronghold of Sultans, you can either ask it in the chat, or you can come up, because this is StreamYard. So if you want to come up and ask questions, be my guest. This is being live streamed on YouTube as well as StreamYard. So yeah, fellas, don't feel shy to come up and ask questions about the Stronghold of Sultans. I'm just going to take my supplements. I'll take those supplements, fellas. You know what I mean? Get on that MCT oil. You know what I mean? Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Let me get that zinc. I'll be back. Zinc is important. Yeah, well, it's not a lesson. It's an introduction to my group, Stronghold of Sultans, for men that want to learn about masculinity as per the Quran and Sunnah. Most of the questions that you have can be answered on my website, but yeah, we'll wait for everybody, because I don't know, either men are not serious about masculinity as per the Quran and Sunnah, because there should be like 35 of you in here. Yeah, I'll do this even if it was one person. If it was one person, I would do this to help men. If anybody wants to check out my website, you can check it out at www.strongholdofsultans.com. Should be like 35 people in this room. I don't know what's going on now. Muslims can't be on time, you know what I mean? Impossible. That would be to be cordial and on time is something that is not too normal amongst the Muslim community. I will wait 90 more seconds and then I'm going to begin. Hey, Adam. Alaikum salam. This is for I mean, this is an open meeting, but this is specifically for the Stronghold of Sultans. Yeah, true bins, like everybody's speaking English, so maybe you should speak English too. Oh God, there's always one or two. Eid Mubarak. Okay, let's get a roll call. Who is here that is a prospect of the Stronghold of Sultans? Can we get a roll call? So which men are here that are actually interested in joining the Stronghold of Sultans? Let's get a roll call. Where are you at? Okay, AQ. This is not some normal live stream. Okay, this is not about whatever you're talking about. This is about the Stronghold of Sultans. Made that clear in the beginning. Is anybody here from the Stronghold of Sultans? And still you. Nobody is here from the Stronghold of Sultans. Nobody. Nobody. God. We'll never go anywhere as Muslims. Never. This is why. What a waste of time. What a waste of time. What a waste of time. 35 people that were jumping all over my back Oh, bro, when's the Stronghold of Sultans start, man? I'm getting excited about it. Not one of them are here. Wow. Oh my God. So telling. So telling. So normal for Muslims. Is there not one person out there that has emailed me for a month now talking about Stronghold of Sultans? Yeah, I want to join. I want to join. Is there one person that emailed me out of the 35 people that is here right now? Unfreaking believable. Are you making dua in front of everybody? Are you making dua in front of everybody to Allah? Oh God, this is so embarrassing. Oh my God. Wow. Yeah, I'll wait like 5 more minutes and then I'm out, man. Forget this nonsense. Wait like 5 more minutes. Is there anybody out there that is a prospect of the Stronghold of Sultans? Is there not one man out there that is that is a prospect of the Stronghold of Sultans? Is there not one person out there that's been jumping on my back for months, talking about, I want to change my life, I want to learn what a real man is, put the Quran and Sunnah? There's not one of you out there. No wonder our women are like, where's the real men at? Probably still asleep, watching porn or something, addicted to porn, up all night watching porn, and couldn't get yourself out of your bed because you've been up with porn all night, wishing about a life that you'll never have. Is there one man who was a prospect of the Stronghold of Sultans out there? 3 minutes and I'm out. There's not one of you. Pretenders. Did you email me though, Shaman? So typical. So typical of Muslim men. So typical. No, the people that emailed me talking about, I want to learn what masculinity is per the Quran and Sunnah. I want to write out a battle plan to, to sharpen the four quadrants of my life: physical, spiritual, intellectual, and financial. You know, I want to get my body in shape, my mind in shape, my spirits in shape, and my money in shape. I want to be the best husband and father and son that I can be, the best man that I can be in my community. All those men that emailed me, it was all fake. Oh my God. No wonder. No wonder the Muslim women are screaming for real men. They're still in bed, addicted to porn. Oh yeah, brother Maliki, click, brother Ali. I want to learn what it is to be a real man. I want to join the Stronghold of Sultans. Not one of them right here. Not one of them right here. Yeah. You've been in bed with porn all night, haven't you? Didn't wake up this morning and went to the gym, did you? Weak ass. You don't plan on going to the gym, right? And just gonna eat today, right? That's what all the men are gonna do today. Just eat. You want to eat? I don't want to work out. I just want to lay around and play video games all day. And then y'all are all mad when women have standards and you fall below them. Wow, we have one here. One person is here. Wow, mashallah. Out of the 35 people, Muslim brothers that have emailed me, one is here. One person is here. Wow. MashaAllah. T, I appreciate it. Warpath, I appreciate it, man. You're one of the guys. Okay, let's just begin because you know what? Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. You know what? I'm going to begin because I'm not doing this for numbers. I'm doing this to honestly, I'm doing this honestly to help men, right? So what is the Stronghold of Sultans? The Stronghold of Sultans is a project that I set out to do myself. Okay, I set out to do myself because I see, you know, we as Muslim men, not only as Muslim men but as men, the narrative out there has been a feminine narrative of men should be this, men should be this, men should be that, men shouldn't do this, men need to man up and not say anything. Men that have trauma just need to shut their mouths and man up. Excuse me. And this is why men kill themselves 5 times more than women, because they have no outlet to speak and to say anything and to be around other men. Now, there's an old saying that says, iron sharpens iron. That is to say, a woman could never teach a man how to be a man, right? Women have expectations of what a man should be, but they can never teach a man through their narratives or their knowledge or a book or whatever. They cannot teach a man what a man is. Only a man can do that. Here's the problem. We live in an age where you have red pill people like Andrew Tate telling men what a real man should be. Yeah, the red pill movement. And Sneeko, he said recently that he doesn't think that a woman can ever learn Islam except through a man. Stupid crap like that. Culture has ruined what masculinity and manhood is, what it is to be a husband, what it is to be, a son or be a man. Not taking responsibility in their areas, in their homes, in their communities, right? So the narrative is that when it comes to culture, is man is the leader of the house, right? I had a client. By the way, I've been talking about masculinity for 20 plus years, and I've mentored young men for 12 of those privately, right? My clients. And one young man came to me, and he was looking to marry. And I said to him, "Okay, what are you looking for in your wife?" He said he's looking for somebody to obey him. He's looking for somebody to obey him. I said, "Is that the most important thing for you?" And he said, "Yes." And I asked him a question. I said, "Well, why should women obey you? Why should your wife obey you, not women? Because no woman owes their submission or obedience, except if a man commits by marriage to that woman, right? So women mustn't be um, subservient to any man on the street, right?" Now, this man said, this young man said that I might need to plug in my thing. Okay, here it is. This man said that he wants a woman, he's looking for a wife to obey him. Any woman will do as long as she's pretty and she, cooks and she obeys him. And I asked him, Osman, I'm kind of in the middle of something, you know what I mean? So I asked him, why should a woman obey you? And his reply was, because the Quran says that she has to obey me. Imagine the mentality. And this is why Muslim women are so unhappy. So his whole mindset is the woman has to obey me and I can treat her like crap. I don't really have to invest myself emotionally or financially into the relationship. All she has to do is cook and clean and obey me. That's it. That's the woman that I'm looking for, right? And I said to him, it sounds like you're looking for a maid or a servant or something, and not an actual woman. Oh no, brother, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. I said, here's an idea. Wouldn't it be so much better if you are a responsible man and you are emotionally, financially, and intellectually and spiritually invested into your wife, so that you could show her why it is important to obey you, right? Look, women are looking for leaders, right? Women are looking for responsible men that know what it is to be a husband and to be a father, right? And women are often these days settling for weak, low value men, right? That's just what's happening, right? So that's probably why our divorce rate within the Muslim community is up to 46% is why is the number these days. And so back to that young man who said that he wants to he's looking for a wife to obey him. It doesn't sound like a partnership to me. It doesn't sound like a partnership. It doesn't sound like he's interested in growing or creating legacy. And so that's where most men run into problems, and it's caused by culture. Now, how do we remedy that? How do we remedy that? Well, it's easy. Who is the most masculine man that you know to ever live? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the most masculine, real man, real husband, real father, real community leader, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right? So, with that being known, people like Andrew Tate and Sneeko, or any other retarded red pill movement has no weight, right? Because the red pill movement, the MGTOW movement, all those men's based movements that hate on women and humiliate women and trash talk women, right? Notice the women that they have around them. Just pay attention to the women that are around them, right? I'll leave that for you to decide and to research. Uh, but they're not quality women, okay? So, like I said, the Stronghold of Sultans was started out as a project on myself. to research what true masculinity is, because on one hand you have the red pill movement, and on the other hand you have the feminist movement, right? Both of these movements are wrong, while Quran and Sunnah and the masculinity of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the men around them are somewhere in the middle. That's where we want to be, and that's where Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us to be, right? As men, right down the middle, right? So the Stronghold of Sultans is an exclusive group for men. I don't want to say it's a safe place, because that's kind of like woke speak and woke talk. And my website and my Mighty Networks program, the War Council, is anything but woke, but it is an environment exclusively for men to talk about their traumas, to talk about where they're falling short, whether it's fatherhood or being a diligent, dutiful son, being a man in general. We talk about these things as per the Quran and Sunnah, right? And so let's talk about the War Council. Let's talk about the War Council. So what is the War Council? So on the one hand, you have the Stronghold of Sultans, right? That's my website, www.strongholdofsultans.com. That's my website, right? So men and women can read articles, get in contact with me. There's going to be a store where I'm going to sell my book that's dropping, inshallah, at the end of the year, about masculinity as per the Quran and Sunnah. So anybody can go to www.strongholdofsultans.com and benefit from that. But there's another group that I made up called the War Council. And people ask, oh, why do you call it the War Council? Well, it's quite simple. We as men need to wake up every single morning and declare war on ourselves, right? That's why a lot of men ask me questions about masculinity. That's why young men ask me what my wife and I are not, getting along, and what's going on. She doesn't respect me. My kids don't look up to me anymore. I feel so distant. My kids are so distant from me. What's going on, brother? That's why they come to me, right? So the War Council is something that I made up. I made a system up. I call it my 90-day to lifetime program. In the War Council, it is a paid membership, $29.99 a month, right? It's a 90-day program at first, right? But it's a lifetime program, okay? $1 a day, okay? That's cheap, and I'm going to build up to it. What's going to be the future, inshallah, of the War Council on Mighty Networks. Now, the first thing that you're going to do, any men that are in the audience that are interested in the War Council, this is not a website. Let me tell you what it is at first. This is not a website or a group or a Mighty Networks group for men to sit around and blah, 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 talk about what they want to be or who they think that they are. I'm not here to stroke your egos and to make you feel better as a man. The War Council is a call to action. It is an action-based group, right? The moment that you come into the War Council, and this is for men only, the moment that you come into the War Council, you will construct what I call a battle plan, right? In the 4 quadrants of a man's life. The first one is physical. The second is spiritual. The third is intellectual. And the fourth is financial. Because these are the 4 things that every man in his life need to sharpen, right? Not all of us are there yet, right? And we need to get there. We need to be the responsible men, community leaders, fathers, and husbands that our women expect us to be, right? We need to combat this 46% divorce rate. We need to combat single mothers sitting in their home talking about, where's all the men at? Where's the real men at? And he left me and he cheated on me and he used to beat me and he used to do these things. These are unacceptable. This is all unacceptable for Muslim men, okay? So right from the get-go, you will construct a 90-day a battle plan, talking about what you want to do, what you want to achieve in the first 90 days, right? In these 4 quadrants. You will identify 2 things in each quadrant that you want to improve. And then you're going to do a primary tactic on how you will do that. Okay, so example, if you're in the first quadrant of the physical, right? How will you tackle that? Okay, easy. For example, if you are overweight and you say, the first thing, I want to lose 5 pounds, I want to lose 10 pounds or whatever in your battle plan. So what you would do is identify after that, after you've identified what you want and what you want to improve, what you would do after that is list primary tactics on how you want to lose weight, right? Because you can say that you want to lose weight all you want, or build muscle, or compete in a Spartan race or whatever, marathon. But how are you going to get there? See, this is why I constructed the battle plan, because it's been proven that if you don't write things down, and if you don't sit down with a pen and a paper and actually hold yourself to account, something that you can wake up in the morning and say, this is staring at me in my face. I said that I wanted to lose 10 pounds. I said I wanted to gain weight, gain muscle or strength or whatever. And this is a reminder of what I want to do every single day. We as men hold ourselves to account. We don't talk about what we want to do. We identify what we want to do. We identify the shortcomings and inconsistencies in our life. And then we tackle them every single day. And I'm talking about every day. If it's physical, I want you to move every single day. Even if you strength train for 2 or 3 days out of the week, that's fine. But I want you moving every single day. Guys, look at how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala built our body with joints and lubrications and tendons and our blood and everything. We are made to move every single day, not sit on the couch and play video games all day and do nothing and sit on the couch and take naps and eat and have bellies like we're 9 months pregnant. Okay, that's not how we were. What we were made to do. We were made to move, right? So you're going to sit down with a pen and a paper, and you're going to get real with yourself. Now, the men that are interested in the Stronghold of Sultans, I'm going to be honest with you right now. We all have problems. I have problems. Do you think that I don't have a battle plan? I do my battle plan every single day. It's right here. It's right here. I have it written down in my notes. It's right there. I can see it at the end of my table. And I do it every single day. And because I wrote it down and because I apply myself, whatever's on that paper or what I want to improve and upgrade, I improve every single day. I get stronger every single day. I get more intellectual every single day, right? Because it's there and that's what I want to do. I've identified it and I'm tackling it and I declare war on myself and I'm doing it, right? So the 4 quadrants, we're going to be tackling those, and there's going to be no quitting. There's not going to be any, oh brother, oh, sorry you didn't do what you said that you wanted to do. Oh, maybe next time. No, this is it can be vicious at times. You're going to have men in there, including me, that are going to hold you to account. I'm going to be asking you. I'm going to be looking at your battle plan to see if it's too weak for your speed. Okay. I don't want you to do something so easy, and I don't want you to do something impossible. I want you to make, even if it's a 1% change every single day or every week or every month, 1% is still better than 0%. I want to see some improvement. And as Muslim men, the thing that we don't do in our lives is we don't challenge ourselves anymore. There is no rite of passage, okay, to manhood anymore. And I'm going to bring that back, inshallah ta'ala. The War Council, as it stands right now, is full of about 5 professional men, right? My intention of what the Stronghold of the Sultans should be, I want it to be the #1 resource of Muslim men to come to and get help And to be able to talk about their problems without someone saying, man up, man, you got problems, so what, the whole world has problems, man up. Now there's a lot of men out there that are traumatized. Like I said in the beginning, that's why men kill themselves, commit suicide 5 times more than women do, because they feel like they have nobody to talk to, because society and the narrative have told them, shut up and be a man. If you have emotions and if you cry, you're not a man, you're not a real man. That's completely not true. That's completely not true. Men have problems. Men have been sexually abused. Men have been verbally abused, emasculated, and they have no one to talk to, and they have no one to talk to because they're of the narrative. They're told to just shut up and be a man, right? The War Council is a place where men can talk about those things, because I want to get you better, right? I want you to be better. I want you to thrive as a man. I'm doing this for your wife. I want you to do it for yourself and for your wife and for your kids, so that your kids will be a hero. You'll be a hero to your kids, and not look at like, yeah, this is dad, whatever. He's fat, he's out of shape. He can't even hold me up. He can't even play with me outside for more than 5 minutes without having a heart attack. We as men, and I always say this, we as Muslim men, let me reiterate that. Let me change that. We as Muslim men, there's no reason why, if we have the best book, we have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we have the example of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, there is no reason why the Muslim man, myself and you, should not be the best physical specimen on earth. Driving the best cars, living in the best neighborhoods, having the big spacious homes, having fat bank accounts, right? Being the most intellectual and able to speak with anybody in the world about almost anything, right? To be able to fix things, to be able to build, to be able to be a community leader. There is no reason, if we have the cream of the crop, as an example, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there's no reason why the Muslim man shouldn't be the best specimen creature walking this earth. But when you take a look around at Muslims, at Muslim men, they are possibly the worst physical specimens on earth, the most broke, the most emotionally broken, right? Muslim men can't even talk to each other without arguing semantics and polemics, like we're school children or schoolgirls, or arguing in the playground, like pissed off prom dates that got dumped on prom night. It's bad. We're not carrying ourselves like men, like we need to. And so the War Council, is a call to action. If you think that this is a website or a group that is red pilled, that is here for you to trash talk women, to commiserate with other men and say, oh yeah, women are bad, and you're in the wrong place, man. Because I'm not interested. Okay, if you have a problem, identify it. Okay, but what I really hate is when Muslim men or women, but I'm talking to Muslim men out there right now, when Muslim men whine and complain about problems, but then they don't do anything. They don't do anything about it. Oh, we're this way because of this, and we're this way because of that, and oh, I have a problem because of her in the past, and I don't trust women because of a divorce, and I don't want to. Okay, fine. You've been traumatized. You've been through a nasty divorce. Okay, I understand. I have too. But aren't you interested in fixing that? Aren't you interested in learning from somebody who has survived a nasty divorce, so that you can get back on your feet? Don't you want to be happy? Don't you want to be happy? Don't you want to be the best husband and father that you can be? Don't you want that? I think you do. Here's the thing, though. You going to have to declare war on yourself. You're going to have to work. You're going to have to come inside of the war council and talk about things that you don't want to talk about. Okay? You're going to have to come into the war council and say, look, man, look, I have a porn addiction. Bro, I have a porn addiction. And my wife knows it because I can't please her anymore because I'm thinking about those girls. I want to help you. So when you come into the war council and you're, oh, I'm embarrassed, I don't want to say that. Know this, that you can never get help if you don't identify the problem. Whatever goes on in SOS and the Stronghold of Sultans and the War Council stays in the War Council. Your problems will not be broadcasted to the whole world. This is a private group. This is an exclusive all men's group. Okay? But I'm saying, if you don't want to talk about your problems and you want to be like, come in like you're Superman and you're perfect and I really don't have any problems in my life, you're lying. Okay? You're lying. You're lying. Everybody has things that they need to talk about. Everybody has inconsistencies or goals that they want to reach for, right? So let's just say that you do the battle plan and you identify at the 4 quadrants what you want to improve, and you get through the 90-day program. If you get through the 90-day program, right? What do you think? There's going to be a graduation party or a certificate that I give you or a badge that I, a medal that I pin to your chest? No. There is no graduation from the War Council. You keep going because that's what men do. That's what men do. We set goals. We identify inconsistencies and weaknesses within ourselves. We crush those goals, and then we set the bar higher. And then we crush those goals, and we set the bar higher and higher and higher. How are you going to not do that if you don't declare war on yourself? How are you going to be the ultimate man in the 4 quadrants of life if you just suddenly quit after 90 days? This is a 90-day to lifetime program. 90-day to lifetime program. I have had 3 battle plans, right, in the past year, and I have written down, and I crushed them. I crushed them. I crushed them until a 51-year-old man like myself is now deadlifting 350 pounds. Can you deadlift 350 pounds when you're in your 20s or in your 30s? I can. You know why I can do that? First of all, because of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given me that strength, alhamdulillah. But secondly, because I didn't start there. I set a goal much lower than that and I crushed it. But then I reached for a higher standard. And then I crushed it. And then I reached for a higher standard or a goal. And then I crushed it. I crushed it. I crushed it. I plan for the future. Right now, you'll see a video of me deadlifting all of the weight that I own, all of it, right? What do you think I did when I crushed that goal? I ordered 40 more pounds, 40 more plates that I can put on the bar so I can lift it heavier. Am I doing it now? Am I deadlifting it now? No, but it's my goal to deadlift 400 pounds, right? I'm at 350 right now. But I won't stop is what I'm saying, guys. Guys, you can never stop. You're coming to me right now. You're interested in the Stronghold of Sultans and the War Council because you gave up. That's why. That's why you gave up. You're weak because you gave up. You're broke because you gave up. You're not intellectually sound like you want to be because you gave up. You haven't set any, there is no goals in your life. You go through life sitting on the bench almost while the game is being played. Everybody else is getting fit. Everybody else is getting rich. Everybody else is getting intellectually and spiritually closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, except you. The Christians do it. The Jews do it. The atheists do it. The Buddhists do it. Why don't you do it when you have the best creator, the only creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and as an example of what masculinity is and being a father and being a husband like Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You want women to follow you. You want women to obey you, right? But look who they're obeying. Are you even, ask yourself a question. Honestly, let's get down to brass tacks. The men out there, are you worthy of being obeyed? Let that set in. Let it set in. Let it marinate real good. Are you worthy of being obeyed? Oh, brother, what you mean? I'm a man. Okay, so that's great, man. You're anatomically a man due to the stuff that's hanging between your legs. That's great. I'm talking about, are you worthy as a man being obeyed? Because a high value woman, a woman of substance, a woman of worth, would never obey a low value man. Okay? Let me tell you the benefits of joining the Stronghold of Sultans and enrolling in the War Council. The funniest thing happens. A lot of men say, "Where are all the good women at? Man, women are trash, and women are this, and oh, body count, and blah blah blah." This low value woman in my DM is trying to get with me and trying to hook up, blah blah blah. Why do you think that happens? Why do you think low value men are low value women are hooking up with you? Why do you think that they want to hook up with you? You ever ask yourself the question? You ever think about that? Because they see you as easy. Because a high value woman would never give herself to a low value man. Think about the women that are approaching you. Just think about it. Think about the women that are approaching you and trying to get with you. The ones that want to meet you on the low, the ones that want to talk to you in the DMs about marriage for months and months and months. And oh, surprise, surprise, we're in the hotel doing our thing. How did that happen? The funniest thing happens when a man or a woman, but I'm talking to men now. The funniest thing happens, and listen closely, guys, to this. The funniest thing happens when you upgrade yourself physically, spiritually, intellectually, and financially. The funniest thing happens, fellas. Surprise, surprise. When you improve these 4 quadrants in your life, those low value women don't even approach you. And the high value women say, hello, assalamu alaikum. How you doing? Why don't low value women approach you anymore when you upgrade yourself in the 4 quadrants? Why? You ever asked yourself, you ever thought about that? When they see somebody, when the low value woman sees somebody that's on a mission, that is physically fit, financially fit, intellectually fit, spiritually fit, they say, if I marry this guy, he probably wants me to improve in my life. And I'm just looking for somebody to love me for the way I am. All of my flaws and my obesity and my trauma from my divorce and my, trauma from my dad that I didn't have a relationship. I want him to just love me just because. No, because we as men, we're looking for high value women, high value wives, high value mothers. We're not looking to be a therapist along with your husband. Okay. And so the high value woman says, alhamdulillah, thank you, Allah. Finally, here's a man who is on a mission to have a body like Adonis, to grow financially, so we will not live in poverty, right? Here's a man who is listening to audiobooks or reading books on every single subject in the world to get up intellectually. Here's a man that is searching to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with his spirituality. Finally, ya Allah, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so that high value woman will now approach you A lot of men come to me and say, brother, there's just no women out there. Nobody talks to me. You have nothing to talk about, bro. You have nothing to talk about. You have nothing, there's no attraction about you. That's why no women are looking at you. Can I tell you something? Before I was married, I was looking to get married. Just be honest with you, man. Back when I was in my late 40s, I was looking to get married before I was married. And can I tell you, I was in my late 40s, and 90% of the women that clicked, I'm interested in marrying you or talking to marriage, 90% of them were women in their 20s. Why? For what? Why? Why were women in their 20s wanting to marry some man in their late 40s? It's because of who I was, who I am, what I was talking about, ambition. I knew what I wanted. I was on a physical mission. I was on an intellectual and spiritual and financial mission. And women saw that, right? But my rule is I would never even talk to a woman that is about marriage that is more than 10 years younger than me. And they would say, "What? But but it's age is just a number." And I'm like, "Yeah, it is a number, but it's a number that I'm not interested in." Okay, it's a number that I'm not interested in, because when you're having the 24-year-old conversation, I want to have the 48-year-old conversation. We're going to do this constantly, right? So, anyways, um, let's open up to questions. If anybody wants to come up, let me in the comments, and let's keep it topic based, please. If anybody has any questions about the Stronghold of Sultan, questions from me about the Stronghold of Sultans, come on up, click the link, and come up and ask your question. If you don't want to come up, type down below your question. This is a group for 18 and up, by the way. So I know there's some moms out there like, I want to put my boy through this. You got to be 18, because we talk about some pretty sensitive stuff. We talk about porn addiction and masturbation and all of those things, all of those vices that young men have, and even married men have. So it's your boy has to be 18 years of age to participate in this. Women have a problem with porn too. I wish there was a women's group like mine. Anybody have any questions? Wait about 30 minutes, 3 minutes, 30 minutes? No, I'm not going to wait 30 minutes. Recon, I think you should grow up. You should probably come to my program. I think it should be below 18. It just, God. No wonder women are screaming for real men, because of fools like this anime cartoon watchers in the comments. No wonder. Coming in making stupid jokes. You think I don't see that? That's why no women, no woman of high value is knocking on your door, nor will they ever. No real woman would lay down with you and even marry you or have your kids, man. No, that's probably why you're connected to those women on the screen, right? But if you're connected to a woman on the screen, you'll never get women off the screen. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. Grow up. Act like a man. There's people in ancient times that were leading armies at the age of 16, conquering nations. So keep your stupid comments to yourself. I don't have time. Is there any other questions about the Stronghold of Sultans? Does anybody have any questions that are based on that topic?
Assalamu alaikum.
What's up, man?
How's it going,
Salam wa
brother?
rahmatullah. Alhamdulillah. What you got, man?
So I'm very intrigued in what you're talking about with the Stronghold of Sultans. I feel like this is something I personally need because I took my Shahada 2 years ago, alhamdulillah, and obviously becoming a Muslim, you benefit from that. Like your life changes, your life benefits from it regardless, right? But I feel like there's still change that needs to be made. Obviously, as men, you progression is the name of the game. You want to keep growing, you want to keep reaching new levels, basically doing things that you're talking about. And so I just wanted to get on and express my interest. I didn't see a link in the description or anything on how to get, your email or anything like that. So how does one join the stronghold?
There's ways to reach me. There's ways to reach me. The first thing, it's not going to launch until April 29th. That's the first thing. So April 29th is when we're going live.
Okay.
Right? We're going to take
Okay.
10 men that are interested in what I'm talking about. For more information, you can go to www.strongholdofsultans.com. That's my website. You can
Okay.
contact me at strongholdofsultans@gmail.com.
Was
But
that
yeah,
was that at G
I mean,
was that
I'm
at
so
Gmail? It
pleased that
cut
you
out.
got up. Yeah, it's a Gmail. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is what I'm talking about, guys. This is what I'm talking about. My brother over here, he got up and he expressed his interest because he's interested in investing in his own life, right? He's realizing that there's something there where there's an inconsistency in me. Not that that's wrong. What's wrong is when you listen to what I'm saying and then you say, well, I'm okay where I am. You're not okay where you are. There's always something. If you were to sit down with a pen and a paper right now and concentrate on the four quadrants of life, what I'm talking about, you would find an inconsistency in there. The question is, why are you not changing it? Why? Inside of the War Council, which is a paid membership, $29.99 a month, inside is going to be, hopefully, inshallah, CEOs, right? We already got an IT there. We have a financial advisor who's a professional in there already. Okay. We have so many men. We have Baba Ali. I don't know if you know from Uma Films, Baba Ali. He's in there too. He's my boy, right? Talking about
Okay.
marriage, red flags, how to prepare for marriage, all of that. My thing is this: men need help. And they're always told, men are always told that, what are you complaining? What you crying about? You're always blah, 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 blah. You know, your mother beat you and emasculated you when you're a child. Man up, man. Just man up.
Mm,
Grow up. Why are you even saying this to me? You're weak for even expressing this to me. This is why men kill themselves 5 times more than women, because they feel like they have no place to go. You do have a place to go. The War Council, Stronghold of Sultans. We're going to get
good.
this right. And I'm telling you, man, I'm telling you, inshallah ta'ala, inshallah, Stronghold of Sultans, the War Council, is going to be one day, inshallah, a standard. Okay. Women in the future will ask in the future, have you went through the Stronghold of Sultans program? Did you go through the War Council yet? Oh, you did? I'm talking to a man of substance. I'm talking to my future baby dad. All right. I'm talking
Mm,
to my future husband. I'm talking to a man that is interested in building legacy, who is mastering the 4 quadrants of his life. Okay. Or
inshallah.
you didn't go through the War Council yet. Oh, wish somebody from the War Council would step up to me and actually, you see what I'm saying? Because as men, like I said, I thought about this program before I made it, before I wrote it up. And I just thought, graduation. One of my friends was like, do a graduation, man. Give a certificate. Give some uh, give something to the people. And I thought, but I don't want men to quit in their improvements
Hmm.
in their lives. Why should they quit? Why should they just set the bar and say, okay, I got above the bar. I'm a man now.
Yeah, yeah.
What?
I personally, I've gone through my own like little self growth and things like that. Like when I was younger, I used to deal with anxiety a lot, and like just like the slightest thing would go wrong and I would panic. And I think around like high school, honestly, around the time I started looking into Islam, there was something in me that was like, I can't grow into a man and continue to be like this. I can't grow into a man and still be panicking and losing my mind and crying whenever something goes wrong. You know what I mean? So, like you're saying, when I did that self like evaluation and I got past those goals that I set for myself, I did reach a point where it was like, okay, well, I'm not like how I used to be. So I've progressed. So I guess the progression is over. But I learned after that that no, once you get past like you can call it step one, now you go to step two, then step three. As long as you're breathing, and I'm 28 years old right now, and these are the kinds of things that are like now starting to set into my mind. As long as you're still breathing, you have to learn, you have to grow, you have to do something to continue. Like as long as you're alive, you should be learning something. You should be trying to increase yourself in something beneficial. And I think just the Western world, the Western mentality we're surrounded by in America, Canada, Europe, wherever the watchers are, it forces us to stay in this little bubble and say, no, I'm okay. I got my video games when I'm sad. I got my filth online, to make me feel better whenever things are not going my way. And once I have that moment of clarity after, you know what I mean, then I'll just go on and smile and be happy until I need to go do it again. And then that's how you have people who are addicted to all of these things online. You know what I mean? So I'm right here with you, man. Like I was not the first person, but one of the first people in the live stream. And when you were trying to do the roll call for the other people who I guess were emailing you for the Sultan, for the Stronghold of Sultans, like to see nobody showing up, I put it in the chat like the Ummah is weak. And I wasn't saying this just to like, oh, sound tough or better than other people, but this is something that I see as a new Muslim. I see it. You have a lot of men who the Western way of life has taken over their mind. The Western way of life has taken over their whole adab. Like it's not about Quran and Sunnah. It's not about being like the men of like being the Sahaba or being like the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's about being Andrew Tate or Sneeko or Fresh and Fit. They're trying to be this modern Muslim man, and it's like, bro, we have something that no one else has. Why modernize? Why change it? Why try to do something else? You know what I mean? That's why I'm so interested in what you're talking about, because it's literally like right up my alley. This is exactly the kind of stuff I'm looking for. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And alhamdulillah, like I said in the beginning, if it was just one man that I can help, look, I'm not in this for the money, because there's other programs that you can join if you want to pay. There's a 72-hour program out there for $18,000. Okay. And it's red pilled. It's red pilled,
Yeah,
and you're gonna come out even worse, right?
yeah.
But bro, I'll be happy to work with only you on April 20th. If it's only you, if Muslim men really don't want to step up and stop being content with bellies that look like they're in their last trimester of pregnancy. Okay, if you're okay with that, if you're okay with all of the estrogen coursing through your body, and you can't even, deadlift 100 pounds or whatever, this program is not for you. This program is for savages. This is for people that want to look at themselves in the mirror when they don't feel like, working out or anything like that, and say, "Boy, you're gonna work out. You're gonna work out." I had a post-it note. I'm sorry for the language, but I had a post-it note on my mirror in the bathroom, and it said, "Did you work out today? Don't be a bitch. Okay,
Wallahi, that
don't be a
you got
weakling."
you got to say it to yourself sometimes.
Man, I'll be in. I have a gym. I invested in a home gym in my garage. I got the full Olympic
MashaAllah.
weight set, man. And there's people. That's why I did a post talking about I killed a man today, and that man that I killed today is my weaker self. Sometimes I gotta stomp that person, man. I gotta stomp him, because the weaker version of a man is got you where it is right now. It's got you
Hmm.
where you, like you said, panic. I used to do
Yeah,
the same thing, worry about things at work and panic and, oh my God, what's going to happen tomorrow and everything.
yeah.
A man is somebody, and none of us are perfect, but a man, somebody asked me before, he used to look up to me. I don't know if he looks up to me now. It says, he asked me, "Hey, Ali, what's the first step to masculinity?" And I know you'll tell me, "Man, you're a man's man." And I said, "Okay, you want to know? You ready?" "Yeah." "What's up, man? What is it?" "Submission. The first step to a masculinity, is submission." "What? Bro, I thought you were." I said, "Shut up and listen,
Yeah.
man. Submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala
Allahu
and the
Akbar.
teachings of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. If you're not submitting to this every single day, on your prayer, on your journey with your four quadrants of life, how do you think you're going to get a woman that believes in you, looks up to you, you're her hero, and wants to actually lay down with you and let you, put a baby in her and start a family? How you think any woman of substance, of any value or worth, is going to lay down with your sorry ass?
Allahu Akbar.
And then you complain about the 40%, 46% divorce rate, and she left me, she went on it, she stepped out on me, and she emasculates me, and she makes my life hell. You're the one who married her,
Hmm.
because you were a weak man and you were not a man of value. A weak woman approached you and married your ass. Okay, that's why. But I'm saying, people ask me all the time, men and women, but mostly men, um, what should I be looking for in a woman? What are the red flags? And I always tell them, "Bro, listen up, man. You could be the red flag. While you're asking about red flags, you could be that toxic person in that red flag. Do you understand me?
Hmm.
It could be you. So while you're focusing on everybody else and all of their problems and all of their red flags, right? You could be the problem. So instead of asking about other people, You know, what should I be looking for? What you should be looking at yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. People ask me all the time, what do I do? What do I do? This is what I tell them. Stop looking for people to marry. Stop is what you do
Yeah.
first. Okay.
Yeah.
You as a man feeling horny does not qualify you to be a husband or a father. Oh, you understand what I'm saying? It doesn't qualify you
Wallahi.
because you have male anatomy and you feel a certain way and you want to get intimate with a woman. It doesn't qualify you to be a husband or a father. Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
Go to work on yourself. Go to work on the four quadrants of what I'm talking about. So a high value woman would say, hello, Assalamu alaikum. What's up, handsome? Where you been all my life? Golly, people don't get it. People don't get it. And they just
Yeah.
settle. You have low value men marrying low value women. And what's going on with the 46% divorce rate? And you know, talking about, oh, there's no men out there, there's no women out there, and no one is interested in the problem in themselves because you can you? I'll ask you a question on stage. Can you
Mm-hmm.
change anybody in life? I mean, honestly, let's be honest.
Honestly, I don't think so. I don't think so personally. Yeah, I think change is something that comes from within first. It has to be in you in order to grow, you know? Because even the stuff you like in this moment, the stuff you're touching on in this moment, wallahi, this is what I'm living through right now. Like I said, I'm 28. I'm I want to get married. I want to start a family. I want to, because I spent my 20s and my teens being, a non-Muslim. So I was dating and doing all this. Basically, I was doing all the stuff the red pill people tell men to do, and
You
it
know the
left
game.
me
I
just,
know the game too.
it,
Yeah.
wallahi, it left me going from woman to woman to woman to woman to woman to woman, different, like exchanging vices. If it wasn't women, it was this. If it wasn't that, it was like. So I thank Allah because obviously you go through certain things in life because you have to learn from them, right? If you go through things and there's no lesson learned, then bro, you're probably gonna go through it again. And
Yep.
what I learned from going through those relationships that were not fruitful, going through different situations in my life where I was just left at the same, I was left at square one basically, is this isn't the path. Once I took my shahada, I I think I said to myself, like, okay, I've got an actual connection with Allah right now, and I
Yep.
can't throw this away because, like you said, because oh, I'm horny. I can't go and just marry a random chick because oh, my sexual urges are becoming too much for me. It has to be something that you can control. Like
Right.
this past Ramadan, like I personally can't fast for health reasons, but I made sure to stay away from certain content online. I made sure to stay away from certain activities with other people. You know what I mean? Trying to
Yep.
purify yourself and hold yourself accountable from your sexual urges. That alone can do wonders for men and women, I guess, for just in terms of changing you for the better. Like I've learned that
Yep.
personally. So that's something I can attest to.
I mean, honestly, I agree because I mean, I've been Muslim for 32 years, but the first 19 years of my
MashaAllah.
life, I was a Christian. And I talk about this on my YouTube channel. I got to a point, like you said, I've been in that life too. You know the game.
Yeah,
Three girlfriends at a time, and
yeah.
I, as a
Astaghfirullah.
Christian, as a non-Muslim, I turned to my friend and I asked a question. And I asked him this. I said, "Is this all we do? We go to the club, we pull, we come back to the house, we do what we do, we smoke these blunts, we do that, and then Friday, Saturday night, we do the same thing with different women.
It's just the same
Is
thing
this
all
all
over
we
again.
do?"
Yeah.
And he turned to me and said, "Yeah, what? Yeah, what?" And I said to him, "Actually, I'm actually bored. It's getting boring.
Yeah.
And this can't be, and I said this as a non-Muslim. I said, this can't be it, man.
Yeah.
Oh, but you're getting all these women. Man, so what? I'm getting
Hmm.
bored of these women. I'm getting bored of these shallow conversations. Bro, there was one instant I was sleeping in my bed and I live with my buddy. We're roommates. And so he and another friend went to the mall and pulled some ladies, right?
Hmm.
Come back to the house. I wake up to a woman trying to get in bed with me that I've never even spoke to. I don't even know her name, but hey man, hey, yeah, she's trying to talk to you, man. Go ahead. She taking off
Yeah.
her clothes and I was just like, oh, man, I got to get a shower and brush my teeth, man. What kind? That's my point. What kind of a woman are you to do
Yeah.
that to get in bed with me? And that says something about myself as a man, as a weak man that I was.
Hmm.
You're gonna just devalue yourself with somebody low value and you're of low value as well.
Yeah.
There was no standard in my life. There was just
Yeah. It's a
you,
numbers
you,
game.
man, you hit them, you quit them, and then you bring in a new batch. You know
It's a
how it
numbers
is.
game. Yeah. 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 I reached the same point too where I think about like 25, maybe around 25. I wasn't Muslim yet, but I think I was just at that point where it was like, okay, the club, okay. Because wallahi, I'm 6'3". I've never been a small guy. I attract attention when I walk into rooms from women.
Yeah.
So it's never been a issue for me to get their attention. So by 25, it's kind of like, okay, so I know I can get women, but is it just gonna be the same, you know, like loop basically, like you're saying? Is it just gonna be we go to the club, I meet this girl, we're in love for however long, for 2 weeks or something, and then after a while, you know what I mean? After a while, okay, I'm at the club again, or while I'm talking to multiple girls, like you know what I mean? Is it just gonna be me juggling women as if I care about them, and then in the end of it, I leave them high and dry, or they leave me high and dry? Like I think at like 25, 26, that's when I realized like, nah, this is not how God made us. God made us to have a purpose. So,
Let me ask you something, brother. Let me ask you something. Be honest with me.
mhm.
Do you think any of the women that you've been through or approached you or you've had a relationship, I want you to be honest with me. Do you think that any of them are high value women?
High value, I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say so.
And why do you think that they approached you? Let's see your answer.
Because I was doing the same thing they were doing. I was on the low value stuff as well. Like, because like, and that's the whole point of wanting to change. You have to realize like, okay, I'm at the bottom of the barrel right now with the rest of the people that are at the bottom of the barrel. Like, like,
You realize that. That's what I want everybody. I want everybody to listen to what he just said. He realized that he was on the bottom of the barrel with the rest of them.
yeah,
And he said, not the kid. No,
yeah,
I don't want this to be my life. I don't want to be with
exactly,
these people in this barrel. I'm going to
exactly.
get out of the barrel. I'm going to get out of the barrel and jump into the barrel of high value people and
Right,
women so I can start real relationships so I don't pump and dump 1 week
right.
in, 2 weeks in, one night, whatever. This man actually is on the path of being a high value man because he realizes that he
Mashallah.
was a low value man. And that's a problem, my brother. That is a problem with Muslim men. They think that they're high value. What
Yeah,
what makes you what makes you a husband or a responsible father? What makes you? Because I am. That's the problem, right? That's the problem. That's probably the problem why a lot of the people that email me are not here today, right?
yeah,
But
yeah.
but to the people in the audience, I'm gonna go through this without you, okay? Because if you're not here, the brother's still gonna be here, right? And if this brother on the stage with me is not here, I, I still look. I still got my battle plan, and I'm still reaching in my life with or without you.
Allahu Akbar.
I'm still reaching to be the ultimate man that I can be. I'm in a competition with myself, not you, not anybody on the stage or off the stage or not even here. I'm in a competition with myself, my weaker self, and I stomp that person every single day. Sometimes I have, difficult days with him, but I usually stomp him every single day. What about you? All of you out there that are going to watch this or are watching this right now, what about you? I will do this with or without you. Don't complain to me. Don't listen from this point on. If I showed you my email, my DM, my social media DMs, brother, hell, brother, I don't understand. My wife walked out of me. I'm not interested in her anymore. Blah 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 blah. I'm looking for another. I got a dude on the side. I'm a married woman, but bro. If I show you it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, man. And these people are Muslims. They're born Muslims that are born into Muslim families, and they're having kufar problems left, right, and center. Look, to those people that are DMing me and emailing me and whining and crying, if you're not interested in going into the War Council and getting better, don't complain to me later. Don't complain to me later. Okay, but if you're sick of yourself and if you want to upgrade your life, come talk to me. But know this: if you join the War Council, we're going to talk about a lot of things. We're going to talk. You got to be transparent if you want to get help. If you have a porn addiction, I want you to say it. I want you to say it so that we can talk about it and I can get you some help, so you can get off of that. Because every addiction is a weakness. And as men, we run from weaknesses or we face it head on and we combat it. We don't embrace our weaknesses, things that hold us down. We fight them. We get rid of them. We trim the fat. We drop the anchor somewhere else.
Allahu Akbar.
Okay, so all of you people that are, all of the DM people out there, hundreds, my brother, hundreds of emails and DMs. Don't complain to me ever again. This is your chance. This is the War Council. This is your chance to get better. The brother, Wallahi al-Azim, this brother on the stage with me, if he was the only one that joined the War Council, I'm happy. Wallahi. Because I know that I can make a difference in his life. Look, the War Council is an operating system. It's not your life. It's an OS. It's an operating system to teach you and give you resources on what masculinity is per the Quran and Sunnah. Okay? That's what it is. I don't want your life to be all about the War Council. It's just an operating system. And I just want to show you how and give you the tools. These are things that have been proven in my own life. Like I said, this Stronghold of Sultans was a project on myself first, because I was dissatisfied with myself and I was looking all around about masculinity and finding red pill, hate women, red pill, hate women, red pill. Take your passport and go over here and blah 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 blah. And I said, well, damn, I guess I got to do this myself. No other Muslim is talking about masculinity as per the Quran and Sunnah. We have jokers like Andrew Tate on there, well-known narcissist, talking about, he's the voice for Muslims and masculine Muslim men. Bro, are you crazy?
Yeah, man.
Like, bro, stop it. Stop.
Yeah. Personally, I remember, like, I watched the whole red pill movement grow because, I'm not on social media as much anymore, but back when I was like on Twitter and Instagram and stuff like that, I would see your Kevin Samuels, your Fresh and Fit when they were first coming up, and they would start off with a good message of growth, of change, of bettering yourself, they would use that phrase, high value man. But then once they got all the viewers, that's when it started to devolve into, well, how many women are you sleeping with in a month? Because if you're not sleeping with 50 women, then how can you call yourself a man? And it's like, to me, right? To me, and I'm doing my best to look into like the sunnah, to look into like the hadith and the seerah and stuff like that to learn, because I know that the example of manhood that I want is not Andrew Tate. The example of manhood I want is like Khalid ibn Walid, like the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Like I want to be like those men, because what I've realized, right, is Andrew Tate and all these other guys, they have this one model for living life: get loose women, look rich, and try to intimidate everyone around you. When I look at the Sahaba, when I look at the Prophet Muhammad, when I look at the prophets that came before, these men were more than that. They were like what people would call Renaissance men today. You look at like even Salahuddin Ayub, right? This is a guy who was a fierce warrior, but also a poet, like someone who the townspeople could come and talk to, and when they express problems to him, like there's a, I forget who documented it, but there's a documentation that was saying like Salahuddin was the kind of guy, it was easy to make him cry. If someone came to him and expressed like some sort of grief, some sort of problem, he would cry on sight because he was someone who was like in touch with his emotion. It wasn't this idea of, I'm a man, or I'm just gonna scowl at everything and blah blah blah. You could feel things like that. To me, that's when I started to realize, like, okay, real men feel the emotions Allah gave them. Allah didn't give you these things for no reason. You can feel your emotions, you can process them, and you can move on like accordingly, basically. And yeah, that's, to me, that's why I always looked at the Red Pill movement and I was like, may Allah guide y'all. I'm happy that Andrew Tate took his shahada. I'm happy Sneeko took their shahada. Inshallah, Allah guides them and brings them to better knowledge and things of that nature. But when they had their run and they were like buzzing and everyone was talking about them, I knew it wasn't for me. I knew it wasn't for me.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think the reason, before we bring on Ridwan on the stage, the reason for that, brother, is, I mean, even I started listening, like, Fresh and Fit and, Andrew Tate, and I was like, you have to admit that some of the things he says is correct, but
Yeah,
the overall message, once they get you, it makes a
yeah,
turn, and you're like, wait a minute, whoa, well, we were
yeah,
talking about something good over here, and then you are going
yeah.
here now.
Like one thing I noticed with them too, not once, you can go back and look at their videos. I'm not the type to make very bold statements or whatever, but not once can you go and look at a Fresh and Fit video, an Andrew Tate video, any of these videos where they preach the importance of protecting women. You won't
Oh,
ever hear that. It's always what? Use them for sexual pleasure, manipulate them for money even.
yep.
But you're telling me you're a man. You're telling me this is what manhood is about, what masculinity was about. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like,
manhood is to victimize women when women should be protected. No, we need to victimize them.
yeah. And when they don't listen to you, oh, they're evil and they're bad and they're this and they're that. Like, wallahi,
Even
every
when they
time I saw a
even when
clip
they
of these
have
guys,
opinions, even when they have opinions, they're bad.
yeah, yeah. Oh,
Shut
she's
up, girl.
talking.
Shut up, girl.
Yeah,
Listen to me. Obey me.
yeah. You're masculine. You're masculine for talking. Like, bro, to me, it was like it's childish. But the sad part is, these are grown men who know the things that they're saying are inflammatory and stupid, but the people listening to them are so lost that they're taking it as if it's gospel. They're
Yeah.
taking it as if the angel Jabril is handing it to them.
Yeah.
That's the thing that gets me. Like I look at some of the comment sections and some of the guys who are like they're right along with it. They want all the stuff these guys are talking about, and I'm like, I know there's Muslims in there. That's the saddest part. Like
Yeah.
Christians to me as a former Christian, I know for a fact Christians are lost. I used to
Yeah.
be lost. Christianity had me looking every which way but God for salvation and for everything else. But to know that there are
Yeah.
Muslims who are watching these guys who would rather go listen to an Andrew Tate than look back and look at the great men of this religion. And you don't have to go
Yeah.
super far. There are a plethora of men who show you this is what manhood looks like, you know,
Yeah.
but you can go back to you know, like the people I named before. But the fact that
Yeah.
some of these Muslims, they rather look at Fresh and Fit and say, yeah, these are the guys, man. Wallahi, these are the guys I want to be.
I mean,
I don't.
bottom line, if you're a man and you're not interested in building today with other men that are like-minded, with your daughter, your father, your sons, your wife, your if you're not interested in building and you're interested in more in tearing down women and women did this to me and now I'm this way. If you're content with that, I number one, I wish that you could come into the war council so I could break you in every single way and teach you how what true masculinity is, right? Or two, I wish that you would just stay away and be a part of those five that would just be like, you know what, I've had enough of life. I don't wish that on you, but I wish you would come to the Stronghold of Sultans War Council. But let's bring on Ridwan. Ridwan, salam alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers. How are you guys doing today? I've been enjoying
What's
the
up, man?
conversation. I'm
Doing
doing
good, brother.
fantastic. Thanks for asking. And you guys are really, really eating on with a lot of good points here. So the way I would like to structure the point I'll bring up is we need to go back to the Quran and the Sunnah, and of course, which is the example of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It says in
Sallallahu
the Quran, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لقد كان لكم في رسول الله أسوة حسنة لمن كان يرجو الله واليوم الآخر فذكر الله كثيرا. In the man of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we have the best of example. It's not stated in the Quran that the best of example is Andrew Tate, Snake, or whatever. So they are not the prophet of Almighty Allah. And of course, in Surah Al-Baqarah, chapter 143, Almighty Allah called us Ummatan Wasata, the middle nation. So we need to be balanced with our views. And when we look at all this modern movement now, right? When you look at feminism, it's extreme. When you look
hmm
at the red pill, it's extreme. It's not balanced. When it comes to feminism, are they making some valid point? Absolutely, they are. But there are a lot of extreme view because the guidance is not coming from the creator. When you look at the red pill as well, are they positive things they're saying? Absolutely. But do they have some detrimental stuff they're spewing out as well? Absolutely.
hmm
I mean, and I'll give two examples. The very first example is going to be during the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There's a famous hadith that a man came and asked the Prophet to give him permission that he should be able to commit fornication. Prophet Muhammad sat him down and had a very interesting conversation with the man sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The very first thing Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked them was, "Would you like someone to fornicate with your mother?" He said no. "Would you like someone to do it with your sister?" He said no. "So why do you want it for another person's sister or mother?" And on the
hmm
other hand as well, when I'm having this conversation with people, I like to make it personal. I was having a conversation with a lady a while back, yeah. One thing I said to her when she said men are trash, I was like, "Are you going to be able to say this in front of your father or brother?" She said, "No." "Why are you saying it in front of another man?" And
That's true.
sometimes when you look at the Western world in the Middle Ages, the way women were treated, in Islam, we never had this problem. When Islam came, it gave women the right. But what happened is, women in Europe were being sold on the market. People were selling their wife. Women were not given the right to have inheritance. So there were a lot of oppression in the Western world about women. But in Islam, we never had this problem from the get-go. So what happened is maybe in some household, people are misapplying the sunnah. So people don't have that outlet. That's why some women are now turning to feminism. So when people were turning to feminism, some men, instead of them go back to the Quran and Sunnah, they started going to the red pill. So now that is exactly the reason why we're growing further and further apart in the community at the moment. But one thing that the solution is we need to return to Almighty Allah. And Brother Ali, as it rightly pointed out earlier, the solution is always Tawheed, the oneness of Almighty Allah. And Allah ya'lamu man khalaqa wal latifun kabir. He's the one that created us. He gave us purpose. And he gave us the instruction manual, which is the Quran and Sunnah. So we need to go back there to look for solution. Sorry for my long run there.
No,
It was
Jazakallah khair.
spot on.
We appreciate
Spot
it.
on. It was
So
spot on.
let me close this out, brothers and sisters. This is the thing. We start on April 29th. I want you to get a hold of me at www.strongholdofsultans.com or strongholdofsultans@gmail.com. This is going to be to join this. You have to do the 90-day program. There is no I'm here to hang out. No, you're gonna enter and then you're gonna go to work immediately, day one, right? You're gonna write out what you want to do. You're gonna sit down with yourself and say, okay, the 4 quadrants of life. I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this. There's also things that 2 things about the thing I didn't communicate to the people in the audience. There's gonna be 2 things: connections and contributions. Too many times in life, why are balloons going up behind me? What happened? Too many times, we don't connect with the people that we need to connect with. We write people off. We don't have relationships with our fathers, our mothers, based upon whatever reason. Maybe you have been wronged, but you'll be asked in the War Council to connect with one person that you feel like you really need to get closer to. If that one is Allah, make it to be Allah that you want to, be closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But we're asking more of a human relationship. Maybe you're on the rocks with your father because of XYZ, 1, 2, 3. We're going to ask you to open that up again. And number 2, contribution. Too many times, Muslims just, well, what can you do for me? Okay, what's in it for me? If I do this, what are you going to do for me? And so as Muslim men, we are servants of communities. We are protectors, providers, and presiders over our communities, our house, our family, whatever. We are contributors. But a lot of weak value men out there, weak men, they just, what's in it for me? So you're going to be asked to contribute. What are you going to do in this 90 days to contribute? It could be, I don't know, I'm going to go to the mosque once a week and I'm going to clean the bathrooms. Something that men or weak value men don't understand about being a masculine man is being humble is a part of manhood. It is a part of manhood that you are placed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in a position of authority. Remember the ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, men and women are equal, except Allah has given 1 degree to the man over. A lot of weak value men said, see, we're above women, see? But then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the verse, 2 stipulations on how you get that extra degree: maintenance and protection of your women and your families. Allah just didn't give you a degree over women and then said, okay, yeah, no, there's nothing, there's no strings attached. You're just above women. You have a degree above women. You have to commit to them, maintain them, and protect them, maintain their children, your children, and protect your children. A lot of men out there have never, if I asked people in the audience, the men in the audience, how many of you have been in a real fist fight? Maybe 1 or 2 have raised their hands. Maybe 1 or 2. You have never been in a fight. You've never been in a conflict. You've always de-escalated. You've never been rolled, as we say. You haven't been rolled in your life even one time. And so how are you going to protect your your wife and your kids. Many, believe it or not, there's a lot of men out there. I'll call them males that will say, "Oh, brother, but we live in America. I'm gonna call the police."
Brother, listen,
You're gonna call the
I
police? Okay, so you're gonna call the police when your wife is getting raped right in front of you, and you're not gonna
yeah,
do anything about it because, oh, brother, I can't do anything.
yeah,
Well, you better stomp that fool, man, right in the living room or wherever he is, man. You better stomp him. Okay,
wallahi,
but a lot of you don't know how to defend yourselves. A lot of you don't know what Brazilian jiu-jitsu is, or Muay Thai kickboxing, or eskrima, knife and stick fighting. You have no idea what that is. We talk about that in the War Council too. You're
yeah.
gonna get fit.
One thing,
Oh, go ahead, bro. Go.
one thing I wanted to speak on, but I didn't say anything at first because I didn't want to get too off the topic. But
Yeah,
self-defense is something that the Ummah is lacking, especially in the Western world and in America specifically, because wallahi, a lot of Muslims, they're from other countries. They were forced to leave their countries and they're here now and they're born here. So being born here, you have certain rights under the Constitution, which the Second Amendment, I'll just say it flat out. Now, not everyone is into firearms, not everyone is into these kinds of things. But like you're saying, if it's not going to be with a firearm, learn how to properly use a taser. If it's not a taser, pepper spray. There's nothing wrong with you having something to defend yourself and your family. If you don't have that, a martial art. I think masculinity has been boiled down to just paying the bills, and I can call the police when we're in trouble. Like you said, a guy can jump out of the bushes, stab your wife up, and what are you going to do about it? Scream for help. Like me personally, I got my concealed carry weapons permit for my state. I'm doing armed security right now just because I like firearms. That's like a hobby for me. I know whether it's my mom, whether it's my wife, whether it's my kids, whether it's a stranger on the street, if I see someone being attacked, I can't just stand idly by or, oh, I'm on the phone with the cops, man, don't worry, and wait 10, 15 minutes. And the sad part is, in the case of, let's say, a stalker, and this is a known fact, this is not nothing new I'm bringing to the table. Let's say a woman has a stalker. If she's being stalked by a guy and that guy comes up to her door and he's making threats to her and doing all these things, if she calls 911 and the guy runs off, he runs up two blocks away from her house. And the cops get to her house and they say, well, where's the guy? I don't know. He ran that way. Okay, well, here's our number. Call us back if he comes back again. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people have this false sense of protection, this false sense of security. I know on the cop car it says protect and serve in America, but wallahi, bro, they have rules and regulations that they have to follow. And sometimes their rules and regulations stop them from protecting you when you need it. Like, let alone, like, if it's
yeah.
3 in the morning and someone kicks your door, and man, you're disoriented and sleepy. You don't know whether you're grabbing for the phone or the remote. Bro, you need to have some sort of self-defense plan. Like for me, I know for home defense, I have a plan set out. When I'm out and about, like I said, I have my concealed carry permit. I know I'm gonna defend myself in whichever way I need to. Obviously, like may Allah guide me so I'm not oppressing someone or using the skills that I have to hurt somebody unjustly. But I know for a fact, if something were to go down around me or someone that I'm responsible for, wallahi, they can get behind me. I'm not gonna sit here like, why are you getting behind me? Like, let's run away. Like, no, like I
Yeah.
know for a fact, defense is in my repertoire. Defense is in my I guess you could say like one of my duties as a man. Like
It's
it's
in your DNA as a man. It's in your DNA.
literally, literally, literally. And
That's what it is
yeah,
to be a man. And a man is not to just protect your family or your wife or your kids. A man is a community leader. That means when something jumps off in his neighborhood, he's there, whether he knows the name of who he's protecting or not. That's a part of
Wallahi.
manhood, protecting, providing, and presiding over your community and your families.
Wallahi.
Everything that you've said right now is not strange to me. I applaud it and I love it. I mean, what's going to happen if the cops come? So many bad things can happen in 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes
Yeah.
maximum. It's literally the balance between life and death, right?
Yeah.
And if you're not about that life, if you're not like my man, with Second Amendment, I also love the Second Amendment. If you're not about, if you can't go hands, if you can't put the pistol down and go hands with somebody, or submit them, choke them out, or anything, you're
Mm.
not a protector. I just want to let you know that right now. You're not a protector. You don't know how to do anything. Okay,
Yeah.
how can
Yeah.
your wife even lay down with you if you're not in a self-defense class or Brazilian BJJ class or Muay Thai, wrestling, Kali, Eskrima, whatever? Why is your wife laying down with you? Is your wife married to the cops or married to you? Which one protects your
Mm-hmm.
wife? The
Mm-hmm.
cops or you as a man? And if you say, "Oh, but the cops are, that's their job," it is their job, but it is your job as a man to protect you. A man is the front line, is what I'm trying to say. Man is the
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
front line. If you need backup, if somebody's just like shooting up your house and you don't have okay, you go to the police.
Yeah.
Man, there's some dude outside to shoot my house up. I don't have a way of defending myself. If you live in America and you don't utilize your Second Amendment right, I don't know what's wrong with you, but not all people can carry. I understand. Then you go to the police, right?
Right.
But we're going to talk about those things because that's involved in the War Council as well. Is defense as American citizens who are legally able to carry, own, operate firearms. We're going to talk about that. We don't
Yeah.
shy away from that because that is the modern day archery. That is the modern day archery, and we don't. Oh, brother, Islam is about peace, and we have to be, blah, blah, blah. You sound like a little schoolgirl, man. Like
Yeah.
this is not
Brother Ali.
Islam. We are with the times, and we protect our families and our lives. Okay, so yeah,
Allahu Akbar.
Yeah, Brother Ali, in
let's.
addition to that, one thing
Sorry.
I've noticed, I said in addition to that as well, one thing I've noticed after spending lots of time in Western world, I've come to a realization that individualism is taking a upper hand over collectivism. Let me put it this way. And of course, growing up, I'm Nigerian. Growing up in Nigeria, when you see two people fighting, if you don't even know them, the very first thing that comes to your mind is you want to go separate them. So no further harm is I mean happens to both of them. But I noticed in this part of the world, yeah, the very first thing is, you know what? Let's record them.
Let's film it.
Or let's film it, exactly. So there's no
Facts.
collectivism. You understand? And in addition to that as well, I've heard of situational instances in US as well, whereby women are getting hard, you know the hard word, right? Openly, and people are looking and people are not interfering. That is where individualism is actually coming into play. Even I felt like at some point I was getting into that. Then eventually I had to start to snatch myself out of it. Like, you know what? We need to go back to the religion. And of course, even I'm Yoruba from Nigeria, right? In my culture, we don't do this. But why am I letting the way people think here have an impact on me when I have my own standards, when we have our own standard given to us in Islam? You
Mm.
understand? Which is when you see something bad, stop with your hand. If you can't stop with your hand, speak out against it. And the least of a man is at least hate it in your heart.
Yeah.
But
Allah.
when we're straying away from that, we'll have a rotten or corrupt society, which is what is going on at the
Yeah.
moment. That's what I was just gonna add.
Mm.
Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. I mean, you look at a man's body. We have a strong chest. We have strong arms. We have strength in general. And it's unfortunate that men don't understand that strength that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you for is to protect women, not to strike women or abuse women. Allah gave you the strength so that you could protect, right? And unfortunately, there's some males out there that like to, put their hands on women and whatnot, and that's a weakness because you're not in control of yourself. When you lose control, you're losing control of your masculinity, and you need to take a step back and breathe and realize, oh my God, I lost control, and that's not what masculinity is about. That's not what being a man is about. So the first opponent in your life is going to be you. The first step in becoming a real man or a masculine man, high value man, whatever you want to call it, is to go to battle with yourself, to go to war with yourself. And like I said, that's the whole reason I call it the war council, because it's going to be a war. There's going to be some things that you realize about yourself that you're just like, I hate this about myself. I can't believe that going through the war council is so hard for me. I hate that I can't understand. I hate that I'm struggling. Use that as a motivation. Use that as a motivation to get through it, right? So, brothers, I'm going to close out. If there's anybody out there that would like to join the first Forge 001, our first Forge, the first thing you need to do is go to www.strongholdofsultans.com. You go to that website, you're going to find all of my social media. You're going to find information about the War Council, what we do, the benefits in which you will reap inside of the War Council. Everything is there for you. My email is there, strongholdofsultans@gmail.com. Get a hold of me. We start April 29th. Get a hold of me and get pre-registered. We're only taking 10 men. We're not taking everybody. We're just focusing on 10 men at a time, right? And inshallah, I'm hoping out of those 10 men that stick around after the 90 days, look, the focus of my program is not to get you through and out and get new people and get more money, more money, more money. I'm hoping that you will stay. I'm hoping that my brother over here, I don't know how to pronounce your name, Josiah?
It's Josier, but you can call me Hamza.
Hamza, my brother Hamza over here. I'm hoping that my brother Hamza will stay around, benefit from the information that I'm about to give him, the lifestyle that I'm about to create for him, show him, not create, show him. And I'm hoping that he will be one day a battle team leader, right? Because we're going to have different battle teams, battle team Alpha, battle team Badr, Charlie, whatever you want to call your battle team. So the responsibility is not all on me. Like I said, I want to make leaders of men, right? I don't want to be the leader. I just want to be the one to show you the operating system. I want other men to step up to leadership when they find out what true leadership is and be the leaders of other men. I want to take this around the world. I want this to be the number one resource. Like I said, if you join the War Council right now, you're going to see some people that you're like, whoa. My teacher, Dr. Shadi Al-Masri, I saw a question down below. Is there any reputable imam or alim or scholar that's going to oversee this? The answer is 110% absolutely yes. My teacher, Dr. Shadi Al-Masri, that has a sanad all the way back to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He is going to be overseeing the whole thing. He is a host and an admin on the War Council, as well as on the www.strongholdofsultans.com. I have asked him personally as my teacher, as we are talking about masculinity per the Quran and Sunnah, if we jump off the rails, if we, even myself, especially myself, if I jump off the rails and start to say something wrong or I make a mistake, I want you to step in. I want you to correct me. I want you to correct the people, the men on there that are making mistakes, because there is no masculinity without following the model of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the men around him. That's what I'm saying. Culture, forget it. I don't care where you're from. Our culture as Muslim men is the Quran and Sunnah. That's it. That's our culture. Now, if you're African, cool. That's your ethnicity. That's your culture. It shouldn't do this with Islam, right? personally, I'm an American with Norwegian and Irish ethnicity. I don't care about Norway. I don't care about what men do in Norway. I don't care about my culture. I care about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and I care about his sunnah. That's it, right? There's nothing wrong with your culture as long as it doesn't go head to head with Islam. Okay,
Allahu
so
Akbar.
go to my website www.strongholdofsultans. Please share the website on your social media. But like I said, April 29th is when we're going to be starting. We're going to be taking 10 men, and if it's just my brother Hamza over here, man, alhamdulillah, let's go, let's go.
Allahu
That's
Akbar.
all I'm saying. So Hamza, I'm hoping that I'll see you. Um, and
Inshallah.
I'm hoping, Hamza, that you know that I'm your brother, and I want the best for you. But I absolutely, as your brother, as someone who says La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, if you were to come into the war council, you're going to work, and I will definitely, if I see you falling behind or this, I'm gonna try to encourage you. But I'm not gonna put up for I quit or this is too
Yeah.
hard or anything like that. Like I say in my video, people go to my social media, Revival of Man on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, and watch my pinned video about the Stronghold of Sultans. If you do not want to work, if you want to be weak, if you want to just moan and complain and not do anything in your battle plan, you will be asked to resign. I don't care about your money. I don't care anything about you. If you don't want to work, get out, resign, leave, go. This is from men. This is a call of action from men that want to hold themselves accountable and that want to be the heroes of their wives and their children. This is what that's for. You're going to come in with nothing. The information that I give you is going to be like a fire hose to your face, right? It's going to be a lot. I know that you're going to be coming in. There's going to be men that are coming in that are completely broken. I understand. There's going to be men that are coming in that are completely emasculated. I understand. We're going to get you to where you need to go, to where you need to get. Okay. I understand that. But what I cannot tolerate is if you want to just moan and cry and do nothing about it. Attitude is what
Allahu
got
Akbar.
you in there in the first place. You've had a hard life. You've had a hard life. We've all had hard lives. Do you want a better life? Okay, you're going to have to fight yourself. You're going to have to fight your weaker self. You're going to have to go to war. Are you ready or not? It's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy. We're not going to be sitting around in circles and a campfire playing guitar, singing Kumbaya. Okay? It's going to be work. It's going to be hard. That's what men do. We do hard things every day that we don't want to do. But there's also going to be the aspect of getting in touch with your emotions. If you don't know about emotions as a man, you should read 2 books by Mr. Jason Wilson, Battle Cry and Cry Like a Man. There's men out there that are like, yeah, I'm good, man, I'm okay. But they're broken men and they're contemplating suicide, okay? They're out there and they're in their tens and thousands in America alone, okay? The War Council is a place to say things like, I don't know, for example, my father, a babysitter, sexually abused me, and we want to talk about that, man, because if that's holding you back from being a man, if that one event in your life is showing up in how you treat women, right? How you don't trust women, if it's showing up in your life there, why do you still want it? Let's talk about it. Let me give you the tools to get up out of that mindset and get healed and get cleared in your chest and your mind so that you can be the clean and clear husband and father that you want to be. Don't you want to be
Salam,
that person? I want you to be that person.
salam
Anyways,
alaikum, Brother
guys,
Ali. I'm
I'll
about
wait for
to
you.
jump off. Thank you for having me.
Okay, Jazakallah khair, Redwan.
Yeah, thank you. Masalam, brother.
Ma salama. So that's all I got, guys. Go to www.strongholdofsultans.com. Hit me in my email if you have any questions about it. Strongholdofsultans@gmail.com. Get a hold of me. Women, if you're out there, wives, if you're out there and you want this program for your husband, have them get a hold of me. Have them get a hold of me, and we'll get busy in the War Council. Okay, guys. Jazakumullahu khairan. Barakallahu fikum. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.